Howdy, friends. It's Steve DePoe with the Rose Realty team. Do you realize that the number one reason for stress and potentially even breakup of a couple is the buying and or selling of real estate? Wow. There was a couple years ago, I think it was probably 2021, maybe even 2020. I did a vlog about couples and under stress when building or buying a house. And I basically said something to the effect of consider me your marriage counselor. And we actually had three clients who came back to us at the end of the whole process and said, that video helped us because we took what Steve said in the video and we applied it to our home buying and our marriage, and it kind of saved us. So I was kind of happy about that. So this week's real estate vlog for North Texas is relationship saving strategies. So look, the end result of all of this is what? You want to buy or sell a house, you want to buy or sell your real estate, and unless you're going through a divorce right now, the end result is to live in that house and be happy and move forward in your relationship and your marriage and all of that. And so you don't want the process to mess you up and screw you up to the point where you're at each other's throats, right? So the first step is to get on the same page about expectations. Okay. No matter how connected the couple is, okay, there's going to be still these sort of unspoken things that each person has that they're not going to necessarily um, put down on paper or explain to the other one, or they're going to be sort of undefined, right? And so what we always say at the beginning of our home buying process, what I say anyway, is you make a list of your must-haves and your nice-to-haves, and then your deal breakers. Okay, but the downside to that is that members of the couple still kind of hold back, okay, and don't put necessarily have everything down. So as an example, I had a couple, and although she said she wanted to be by a neighborhood with a tennis court, okay, or tennis, courts complex, if you want to call it that, she didn't really express how important that was to her. Yes, I'd like to be by a tennis court. And when we were seeing houses that didn't have tennis courts in the neighborhood, I'd say, okay, doesn't have a tennis court. Is that, are you okay with that? And she'd say, yeah. But later on down the line, as we were looking at more and more houses, she kept on sort of rejecting the houses that didn't have a tennis court in the neighborhood. And I stepped up and I said, okay, so, help me understand what's going on here. And she says, I really, really want a tennis court or tennis courts or a club in the area, in the community. So that went from a nice to have to really a have to have. Okay. So even though they wrote down their expectations, she might have been hiding the fact that, or holding back the fact that how much tennis meant to her. Okay. And so you got to write these things down. You got to be honest and open, because the last thing we want, okay, is for me to sell you a house, either new construction or a resale, for me to sell you a house and 6 months later, me to get a call to say you gotta sell my house because we're getting divorced because we don't have a tennis court in the community, or something along those lines, or we don't have a pool, or we don't have this, that, or the other thing, right? And so you have to be honest and open, because you're hopefully, going to live with this house from someplace between, 7 to 15 years. Okay. And you don't want to be miserable for that long of a period of time, be prepared to back down. Okay, so like here's the deal. Let's take that example. Let's take that example again. Okay, so you write down your things, right? Yeah, we have to have this. This would be a nice to have, etc. Take a look, compare the lists, okay, and say, okay, fine. Here's our master list. Um, if there's something that you feel is on your have to have side of the list of the ledger, okay, that's cool. put it there, but you also have to have in the back of your mind saying, you know what? If I don't have, let's just say, a tennis court in the community, then I'm okay with that. As long as there was one, like with inside the 5-minute drive. Okay, then I'm cool with that. Or if I have to have a gourmet kitchen, okay, and we're fine seeing houses without gourmet kitchens, um, you have to be prepared to back down, and say, okay, I'm cool with the fact we don't have a gourmet kitchen, as long as we have the money we think we can put aside to update our kitchen within the next 5 years. Okay, something along those lines. So what I'm saying is you can't be so fixed in your position that you cause gridlock in the buying process and in the relationship, and then you just never find it. You unless you up your budget like double, you never find what you want and what you can afford, because you're both just so gridlocked on the things that you want. Ask an expert. Okay. Um, yes, so talk to your real estate agent. The real estate agent can help you. As an example, let's go back to what we were just saying about the gourmet kitchen. Okay. If the gourmet kitchen is on your have to have list, but this house has got like everything else in it that you guys are looking for. Um, but the except the gourmet kitchen, but because of the layout of the kitchen, we feel that I feel that a gourmet to install to upgrade to a gourmet kitchen, let's say 3, 4, 5 years from now, would cost you 50 grand. I'm making up that number. But if the gourmet kitchen was installed right now, it would probably increase the value of the house by 100 grand. Okay, maybe it's better that you don't get the kitchen at purchase and you install it later on during a remodeling. Okay, that kind of thing. Okay, there are a lot of people, pools for example. Pools for example are you get probably 80, 85% of the value of the pool return on investment on sale. But if you sit there thinking, okay, we have to have a pool, then you can kind of consider, well, yeah, so the pools that we've seen have been kind of plain vanilla sort of thing, and if you wait 5 years after you purchase, you can do what you want. You can put in a gazebo, an outdoor kitchen, blah blah blah, you know, for less than the value of the perceived value of this house with the pool in it. So you can kind of do it for less money and your way, is what I'm saying later on. And then if you bought it outright today. And so ask your expert, ask your real estate agent, they can help you, they can help you out. And lastly, recognize the fact that we're a team. Okay. It's real important when you're talking with your agent to share these things. Got to have a tennis court, don't want to have a pool, want to go gourmet kitchen. That powder room downstairs is real important, etc. Because there's just been times when I get that nice to have, must have list, and I'm showing houses, with no powder room. Okay. And they keep on rejecting it, but it's got everything else, but they keep on rejecting. And eventually we sit down and I basically say, okay, what's going on? What's the scoop? And they say, we really have to have a powder room. Well, okay. You weren't up front with me then. I was showing you, I was bringing up on a computer houses without a powder room. You were rejecting everything. You said it was on your nice to have, so you have to be honest. We're a team. And so you have to be honest with me as well as yourselves, so we can all work together for the same goal. And that is what? To get you into the house of your dreams, today, and not have to wait, 6 years until you find something that meets you 110%. Okay. So, let's work as a team, all of us together, so that we can get you what you want. I hope that was kind of helpful. Next week, we're going to talk about the different types of mortgage lenders that are out there and potentially some of their rates and some of their costs and that kind of stuff. This is Steve. I am with the Rose Realty team. I'm out.